We've been racing many years with another manufacturer, and we had the opportunity to join BMW at the beginning of this year already in GT and to prepare the WEC program in 24.
As BMW, we for sure developed the car and are responsible at the end for running the car. But we always work together with teams, and WEC proved already in the last years in LMP2 running how successful they can be.
Well, I think BMW is one of the biggest brands in motorsport for many years, so I do believe that we are working to be competitive, and I'm quite sure we will be competitive.
And so it's a perfect fit on both sides. The racing operations is more on the team side, and the development is more on the BMW side.
So that's why we have a pretty good test program with also WEC working in the background now.
It is our third day of testing here. We had a typical Spa weather.
We have the specific weather conditions, which are really Spa realistic, with damp and wet and rain and sun.
The test has gone pretty well. Obviously tricky conditions, sometimes dry weather, sometimes a bit rainy. So you have a bit of a different setup approach on the European track.
Well, so far it's been a pretty good test, and today I drove in the wet. First time in the wet for me with the car, and straight out of the box I felt quite comfortable in the wet, so I'm happy that this confirms my feeling.
I did two long runs in the wet, and yeah, I would say 2 or 3 performance runs, so yeah, a fair amount.
There is not only driving, there's also a lot of stuff around, especially on the steering wheel, which you need to learn, which you also need to read the manual of the steering wheel especially. But once you get used to it, it's pretty okay, and obviously it's good fun to drive it.
Fortunately, I have a fair bit of Formula 1 experience, so with all the hybrid and all the button switch changes that you're used to having with that, it was a relatively seamless transition for myself, and so you're having to learn new combinations, new buttons, new switch positions.
It's a bit different what I'm used to. It's a completely different feeling, so I still need to learn to understand the little details of the car, but in a way it's a bit of a mix of Formula E and LMP2 together, because a lot of the things we use in FE are used in hypercars as well, so I wouldn't say I'm an advantage in a way, but I understand it better.
Well, for us it's mainly important to improve the car in all areas, you know, mainly also performance running, also reliability topics.
I mean, we learn a lot of things because everything is a bit new so far.
We get a lot of mileage, that's the important thing. At the end it always helps us to develop the car and to get better.
To have a clear view where we are will be the first race for sure.
The driver feedback is quite good.
Generally you have to look when the drivers come out of the car, there's always a big smile in the face.
I was pleasantly surprised of how comfortable going through corners like Eau Rouge and Blanchimont were. You're arriving at these corners super fast, and to be able to go through them flat out or close to flat out very early on was nice. The engine sounds very, very good. Downshifts sound good, nice and loud, and she's fast as well.
Actually, I like the drive away electric. This is nice.
Speed, the pure acceleration was just insane.
When you look at our car here, even it's in black, in carbon, but still you see it's a proper BMW, you see the kitness at the front, so everybody sees that where the car is coming from, and that's a very important thing. And when then in the race livery you even have the BMW stripes on, it even is then the icing on it.
Next year will be our first hypercar outing in Qatar for the first race.
Everybody prepared, the teams, the drivers, the car, our development to be ready for the first race.
For me now, I just hope to stand there in the first race next year and yeah, be competitive and work from a good basics.
I definitely hope that BMW does well in the WEC.
Well, I hope to be winning, of course, with the team.